This episode is sponsored by FightFitLifestyle.com. Go to FightFitLifestyle.com to get awesome merchandise, gear, and even CBD products as well. All right, Charlie Vann here with the young savage himself, JP Bays. JP, how are you doing today?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. That blanket seems very comfortable.
Oh, it's actually my robe.
Oh, it's your robe. Okay.
Yeah, it's a robe. It's fight weeks. Time to relax.
Oh, nice, nice. So this is the week out from your fight. So is this kind of the ease into things? How's it going the week before?
You know, I often have a problem to just keep going, just nonstop. So I've had my head coach been yelling at me maybe for the last 2 weeks. He says, "Hey, you need to stop." And last night again, I did some rounds at the gym, said, "You better stop." He's like, "You done, you need to be done." And he actually called my wife Cheyenne aside and said, "You need to make sure JP is not doing nothing. Make him watch the most silliest movies, whatever. He needs to do nothing." So today, that's what's happening.
And that's Coach Safe, who is always going to be honest with you and just wants to make sure you're ready to go. Is a lot of that because of your wrestling background, you feel? Because wrestling, I mean, you're always competing.
Yeah, I think the big thing is competing so much from the wrestling background. I literally, for the 3 years that I did wrestle, I competed every weekend. So it would be a nonstop up and down cycle. I would wrestle on a Saturday, eat like crap on the Sunday, the Monday, the Tuesday, and then the Wednesday, it's again like cut weight, grind, and then wrestle again. So I do think that that's a positive, but it's also a negative.
Well, when you do get to relax and let yourself relax, what do you like to do? What do you like to watch if you're watching a funny movie?
Movies, I don't really watch a lot of TV.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to get distracted a lot, especially by my phone. I would put on a movie, and if it doesn't catch my attention early, I would be on my phone the whole time. So my wife's actually been buying me books, and I got a new book in today. So I'm trying to read a little bit more, and that helps me get a lot more time away. And I also don't look on my phone, because if I'm on my phone, I'm just reading crap anyway.
It's easy to do.
Yeah.
Well, are you a nonfiction or fiction guy, or both?
Nonfiction.
Nonfiction.
I don't want to see a guy shooting an arrow halfway across the world killing someone. I'm like, no. That if any movie I watch and that happens, it immediately I'm like, damn, I'm over it.
So is it safe to say you're not really into the superhero genre?
No, I don't watch them.
Even though you got a pretty superhero nickname in Young Savage, how did that come to be?
Yeah. It's funny. I was pretty young when I started fighting. I was 18, and I trained with Don Madge out in South Africa, and me and him started living together. And I was like, I need a nickname. And he's a pretty savage fighter. He's really good, and we always spoke about savage, be a savage, be this. I was like, you know what? I'm young. I want to be a savage. I was like, yeah, we just came up with Young Savage.
Do you think it's a nickname that you're going to just keep even into your 30s? If you're fighting to your 40s, you want to keep it just to kind of keep that youth, or just become the savage?
I thought of that before, and I was like, what do I do when I get to 30 something or whatever? I'm not that young anymore. But I guess that would just figure it out. Maybe once I get into the UFC and my fight style or whatever, I don't know what's going to happen. But you look at Henry Cejudo, his nickname changed. And maybe I make such a great run or whatever that my nickname changes.
Well, Melvin Gillard, I think he's still the young assassin. I believe he's almost 40, if not 40 years old. So, youth is a state of mind.
Yeah, maybe if I keep looking this good and this young, I could always be the Young Savage.
Well, let's talk about your upcoming fight with Jacob Silva. We're a week away from that. You make your return to Dana White Contender Series. Your wife Cheyenne got a chance to fight on it and won and got that contract. Congrats again to her. Being in her corner, did that get you a little more reacquainted with the environment? Because I know it's been in 2017 was the last time you were on that show.
Yeah, in 2017 when I fought there was the first season, and it was actually in the Tough House, in the Tough Gym, which was very different to the Apex Center, you know. So going out there with Cheyenne and just being around the environment, seeing the arena, it got me kind of comfortable there. But something that clicked before my last fight is I was listening to a song, and in the song it said that it's all the same, just the name will change. And it kind of clicked, and I was like, you know what? Doesn't matter where you fight, who you fight, it's a fight, you know? Like, whether I fight in Africa, in Pakistan, the promotion might change, the opponent's name might change, there'll be more money, more. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do MMA against an MMA fighter. So it kind of helped me being in the environment and seeing her. But one big thing I've learned from her is I kind of wanted to always go into the cage and feel the arena and before the fight. And she's completely the opposite. She doesn't want to. She just arrives at the arena, sleeps, wakes up, fights. And that's something I learned from her. Like, I look at it, she can do it, I can do it. And whether someone wants to fight you anywhere, you're going to end up fighting. So as much as I enjoyed seeing everything, it doesn't really matter.
Well, one thing I've noticed about you, even in previous fights, even going back to that first season of the Contender Series where you were 21, which pretty young competitor, you've always had like composure. And one thing I've also noticed about Fortis MMA with all the fighters is that composure. Do you feel like that's clicked a lot? And does some of that come also from your high-level wrestling background?
Yeah, you know, with wrestling, especially in Africa, you wrestle the same guy every weekend. So the people that are traveling the world with me and go compete against other people, the people that I wrestled against would be my friends. So we would play like tag and throw the ball and talk and eat sandwiches together and then be like, oh, damn, it's me and him in the finals. And then we're still cool with each other. We sit there, we talk. He goes warm up in the corner. I warm up this corner and we go wrestle. So that definitely helped. I don't overthink that. And then with fighting, I mean, I've always been calm, but I had to always find myself. Like earlier in my career, I would like listen to music that makes me too pumped. And I would go out there and I'd be like really tense, like pumped, like I need to kill this guy. Where I then found my own style, and man, if you gotta listen to my music playlist, you'd be like, this guy is nuts. Like, what is he listening to?
What's on the playlist? One song that's on the playlist.
The Power of Love is one song on the playlist.
Hey, that's good. That's positive. I mean, gotta have some positivity.
Yeah, there's a lot of positivity, but there's like all kinds of songs from like She Bangs.
Oh, well, now you just want to dance, and that's a good.
Yeah, you see, so I have different. It depends what comes on, but like I'll be dancing, I'll be singing. I'll put a blanket on, I put earphones on, and I just have fun.
Now, the day of the fight, do you listen to a lot of music? Do you like to unwind? Do you like to kind of joke around, have fun at all, or is it just all just in the zone?
I do listen to a lot of music, a lot of calming music, music that I really enjoy, or a band that I usually like listen to is the Lumineers.
Oh, great band.
Yeah, I really enjoy their music. I listen to them before I fight too. It really calms me. And funny thing is, I just like, I like food. I look at food. I listen to music, and I'm pretty calm in the fight day. I just wake up. I would be like a little like tense, you know, you're like, hey, you're going to get in a fight. But then after I break a sweat, I spend some time with my wife. I have a few words with my coach. I listen to my good music. And then I'm pretty calm. Then I know it's to actually switch on fight day and like I flip the button is when I pack my suitcase and I'm like, okay, like I'm boarding the ship now, like a Viking style. I'm about to get ready. I'm gonna go fight now. Then I'll pack my bag. I'll put my earphones on and I'll get in the zone.
That's when you need to put that, it's called Immigrant Song. I don't know if you heard from Led Zeppelin, but you hear in a lot of movies. It'll fire you up. It'll fire you. Yeah. It's a classic. You hear a lot of trailers.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Who's going to be in your corner night of fight?
To be Coach Saif and Cheyenne.
And, you know, looking at Jeff Molina, he's making his return as well. He fought in August in a very back and forth fight. What intrigues you the most about this matchup?
The thing that I like most about the matchup is he's a tough guy, you know. He's tough, he has skill, and it's a test for me. When I beat him, people will say, hey, he beat someone that's tough. He beat someone that's good. It's not going to be like, oh, yeah, he had a good fight given to him and stuff like that. Like, that's the thing that I enjoy most about the fight. And the other thing that I'm excited about this fight is I'm from South Africa. I've always wanted to live in America, and the first place I moved to in America was Texas. So I'm a Texan. I'm a Texan now, you know, and fighting a fellow Texan, that's kind of cool. I like to look at things that way. But yeah, the most exciting part of it is just having a tough challenge ahead of me.
Well, this is a little Texas rivalry, and for, you know, baseball, Houston and Rangers, which you can look at Rangers as being a Dallas team, compete in the same division. So does it feel like a little friendly rivalry right there?
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be rivalry. Like, okay, we got to fight. But the biggest thing is it's just we both are fighting. It's our second chance. So I won't say it's a rivalry. It's just it's make or break for the both of us.
Well, Young Savage versus Little Animal sounds like a great marquee fight name. One thing I noticed, too, just breaking down also your style. A year ago, you fought Christian Rodriguez at LFA, quickly taking his back. Just kind of break down that technique and where do you feel like some people may lose that position? It looks like it's so natural for you how you just quickly are able to have that back control.
You know, if you look at martial arts or jiu-jitsu, put it in MMA, the most dominant position is on the back. If someone's on your back or behind you and he's punching you, you can't punch him back. So that's pretty much a safe space to get to. With Christian, the game plan was to get to that spot, get onto his hips, and get to the back, because I actually watched one of his fights live against a 10-time world champion jiu-jitsu guy. And the guy got to the back quick. He didn't really have much problems once he got to the back, and he finished the fight pretty quick. So sometimes I like to be on top. Sometimes I like to be on the feet and then get to the back. I guess that's on the opponent. Depending on how the opponent reacts or reacted to that in previous fights, I would look at that approach, where I've seen some of Jacob's fights and he doesn't freak out when you get to the back. He's pretty calm, he's composed, he deals with the threats. So it's a different situation.
Well, I've also noticed too, like you utilize that suplex a lot. Is that kind of just that confidence too from your wrestling? And just talk about breaking down that, because you don't always see a lot of suplexes in MMA. Is that just perfect timing and accuracy in place?
I actually have one suplex in the fight. I've had it in wrestling and stuff like that, and it could be a blessing and it could be a curse. In a wrestling match, if you get a 5-point throw, the match is done. So it's a blessing. In MMA, I got it in the Contender fight because I was like, you need to be entertaining. You need to do something special. So that kind of just flowed. Like once I got there, I was like, oh, it just came natural. But that was a curse in the fight for me. I could have rather tried to control the back and settle down a little bit more instead of making a big scramble out of it.
Do you feel like too now, like I said, you were 21 then, do you feel there's a more maturity in your game now compared to then, that you've even extra composure and just kind of patience?
Yeah, definitely more mature. Going into the first Contender fight, I was like, I need to do something special. I need to impress. But then now I kind of just took it in, and I'm like, my fight style is entertaining. Whatever I do, I go out there and it's kill or be killed. And if I just go out there and fight my style, it will be entertaining. I'll win, and people will actually see the value in it. I don't have to go out there and do crazy stuff just to pull attention. Just my fight style already gets the attention.
Now, one thing that will definitely be different from that first season is there's not going to be a crowd. What is the smallest crowd you've competed in, whether it's wrestling or MMA so far?
The smallest crowd is when I just moved here. It was me and Fernie and the coach in the gym, and we had a fight. So I would say that was a fight. So that was the smallest crowd. It was just me, my wife, the coach, and Fernie. We had to fight each other. But the smallest crowd would probably be this fight, if we talk about like show.
And just talk about your time now with Fortis MMA, the team's morale. You saw your teammate also Uriah Hall have a huge win against Anderson Silva 2 weekends ago. Just talk about being part of this team, being under the guidance of Coach Safe as well.
This team, it's the first team I've ever been to where there's no drama. Everyone respects each other. There's like really good structure. Not saying that the other teams I've been to didn't have structure. They had really good structure. But it's just always the same. You know what you're getting into. You're not walking into the gym and going to have an easy day. It's always going to be hard work. Coach is going to guide you. He's a leader. He's a mentor. I'm just really like, I appreciate the fact that they took me in. They took my wife in. They take care of us. And I'm on the right track, doing the right things. And it's just hard work.
Well, finally, JP, I know you're a cappuccino guy. How soon after your fight are you going to enjoy a cappuccino? It's fall now.
Probably only the next day, because after the fight, it's pizza and donuts first.
Oh, what kind of pizza? An ultimate debate, pineapple or no pineapple?
Pineapple.
Pineapple,
yeah. Pineapple can go on pizza. And then what pizza? I mean, in the US, it's kind of different to what I'm used to in Africa. Mm-hmm. But there's this one place in Vegas that they have this like honey bastard or something like that, and it's just this huge pizza. It looks amazing, and it has like this honey hot sauce on with pepperoni.
That sounds good.
So I'll hit that one, and I'll probably get about 20 donuts.
What do you like sprinkles? Do you like filling?
I like filled donuts. Filled and maple donuts.
Oh, the maple glaze. Can't go wrong with that.
That's the one, yeah. And then the next day will probably be a nice breakfast somewhere with a good cappuccino.
There's I don't know if you get it, how much you'll get a chance to visit in Vegas, but Paris Casino has a really good little cafe bakery. They have great coffee. I believe they also have cappuccino. It's a nice little spot.
I might look into it.
Yeah, they have crepes too. So
they have crepes too.
Yeah,
I love crepes.
Yeah,
Nutella and crepes is bomb.
Oh yeah, Can't go wrong with grapes. There's so, I
No,
mean, when you're looking at food, I always say go to Vegas. Like, you don't have to gamble. You don't even have to go to the show. Just eat. Oh, there's so
just
many
eat, right?
options.
Yeah, and then the other thing I'm looking forward to is when I get back to Texas, I want to have a good old Texas barbecue,
Oh, yes.
just eat myself full of barbecue.
Are you brisket, chicken, sausage?
Brisket,
Brisket all the
brisket,
way.
pulled pork, yeah.
Now, do you like to barbecue or do you want to go somewhere and barbecue or to a
Uh,
barbecue?
so I want to go somewhere and get it, but I do enjoy barbecue. And usually my wife and I, if like the diet's not too strict, we'll do meal preps and I'll make all the meat on the grill. She'll make the sides in the house and we'll just have our week's food. So I enjoy grilling. Something I had to get used to is gas grilling,
Yeah.
because from in Africa we call it a braai, and it's mostly charcoal.
I always feel a little like on edge doing gas grilling. I just don't know. I don't know. Like I just feel on it like it's gonna blow back or something.
I do too. I'm like, I think that's why I also enjoy buying the barbecue, because
Yeah.
it's like smoked and it's fire and it's wood or charcoal, whatever they use. So it's a different taste. And me, I'm also pretty nervous, man. Like, how do you put gas and flames together? I don't understand.
Well, always, and sometimes you hear that delay when it's lighting. You're like, I gotta run. Like it's
Yeah,
just
you're like,
on edge,
I'm
electric
like,
all the way.
is it closed? Is it closed properly? I'm like, I want to make sure this thing is closed properly, but also the food's done, so I want to eat. So what do I do?
Well, speaking of barbecue, I'm sure your teammate Steven Peterson will highly recommend Hutchins Barbecue, which is a really great spot. And also locally in Dallas, too, Laughlin's is really good. I haven't actually been to Pecan Lodge in Deep Ellum, which is funny because I've lived
I've
here all
been.
my life. Did you like it?
I liked it, but
But
my
2 hour wait.
favorite, I haven't been to Hutchins, obviously, but
Hmm.
my favorite that I've been at was Hard Eight.
I don't think
But
I've been there.
I recently moved to Richardson,
Okay.
and I tried just before I started my really strict diet. I was
Mm.
able to go to, I think it's called 1050.
Yeah, I guess I need to go more out and venture to my barbecue.
That's the bomb. 1050 and Hard Eight, those are my favorites.
Well, there's a place in Lakewood I usually see. That's the thing about me is I go to the same spots. I really need to venture more out. But Lakewood Smokehouse is really good, especially if you like smoked turkey, and they have a lot of good sides. Their brisket's really good, and sometimes they go quickly out of it.
Yeah.
Just going real quick back to coffee, you're not too far, I think, from a Cafe Brazil. They have really good cappuccinos and espressos there, and
I've
really good
actually
crepes.
been to Cafe Brazil near the gym,
Hmm.
but I didn't know their cappuccinos are pretty good. So I always just get the normal coffee that's right there. Like,
Oh yeah, the flavor coffee.
yeah, in coming from Africa, every gas station, any place you go to, there's baristas in, and you
Hmm.
just get really good coffee. I moved here. I'm like, can I get a cappuccino from Starbucks? I'm like, this thing tastes dog. So it kind of like pulled me away from the cappuccino unless I know I'm at a really good coffee shop.
Do you make your own? Do you like to make your own like cappuccinos at home a lot?
We had a really good coffee machine, espresso machine, and stuff that my father-in-law bought us in Africa, and that was the saddest thing to leave. Like, I sold
Mm.
everything, but that machine I didn't sell. I just left it for my
Oh
mom,
man.
and she doesn't even know how to use it. She's not using it, so it breaks my heart. And maybe after this fight, I'll be able to afford a good little coffee machine and make my own
Do you ever
cappuccinos.
like
But
FaceTime her to like kind of vicariously live through her own having the cappuccino? Like,
I FaceTime her and I told her how to do it, but I'm pretty sure she's forgotten already.
well, I hope that after this fight you can get that cappuccino, enjoy your donuts,
Yes,
and
sir.
enjoy your coffee. Thank you again, JP, for taking your time, and best of luck next week. And
Thank you.
also, what do you like to say to your fans out there?
Man, it's been a crazy journey. Like, by the time I fight, it would be 367 days of being inactive. And I've had like 4 fights scheduled that just couldn't go through because of work stuff. So I'm just really grateful for everyone that stayed on track and keep supporting me through it all. None of them got discouraged, and they keep inspiring me, keep telling me, hey, keep going, your time's going to come. So as much as I inspire them from a fighting perspective, they've really helped me keep the dream alive.
And where also can people find you online?
They can find me all over social media. I have Facebook, I have a Facebook page, I have Instagram, I have Twitter. Obviously, with Instagram being the biggest market for me, I would say I'm mostly on Instagram. Twitter, I don't really interact on much. I feel like that's just a platform to talk a lot of crap, which is not part of who and what I am. Unless you try to get a certain fight and you want to talk crap to someone, I don't really go on Twitter. I would go on there to talk a little bit of fights, but if they mainly want to reach me, it will be on Instagram.
Well, definitely post pictures of your post-fight meals. I always love seeing what people are eating. I don't know why. I mean, Instagram, I love seeing what people are eating, like the breakfast and the donuts. So definitely share that.
I actually have, on top of my fridge, I have like maybe 2 or 3 grocery bags of desserts and snacks and foods that I have. So before I depart to Vegas, I'll actually make a little video and show people what I have. But I made sure I got all my pumpkin spice and Halloween flavors.
Ooh, I love pumpkin spice.
So I can have my own Halloween in November,
Oh, nice. Well, I know you also have dogs, and I know I see, because I follow you, of course, on Instagram, and I see their food looks awesome too.
It's been crazy. The other day, my wife made their food, and she's like, "Can you mix this?" And I'm like, "Wow, their food smells so amazing." They're currently eating bigger and better meals than me.
They are. I have mine right here, so he's probably like, "You should cook me that stuff." They are our children, so we have to spoil them.
Gotta make sure they're well nutrition.
Well, all right, JP. Well, thank you again, man.
Thank you, sir.